Business Matters starts now.
Good evening. Welcome. Business Matters. This is going to be a good show. We're talking about Tea Party. We're talking about are there racist overtones and the issues with NAACP and the accusation. So, Esther, are you concerned that the Tea Party is sort of getting into the racists?
I am indeed.
You are? Okay.
Yes.
And what
well,
do you see?
When this Tea Party business first came out, I was quite disturbed, and it attracted my attention, and I stayed close to it. Mm-hmm. And it seems to be that the Republican Party has taken to the streets.
Okay.
Because they didn't seem to be able to project themselves and get the upper hand in issues in Washington.
Okay. All right, so
now it's turned racist.
All right, Ron, your thoughts on that? Do you agree with what Esther says? Or?
I'm wondering what Esther's smoking this morning. I've been to a couple of Tea Party meetings. They're worried about the Constitution. They're worried about America. They're worried about too much government. Frankly, I'm worried about all those things. I didn't see any racist overtones when I was at a couple of Tea Party meetings.
Well, Dwayne, is it because that the majority, when you see the screens, the majority of Tea Partiers are white? Does that sort of make it feel that way? Because I know from my producers, actually, a piece that they produce and what they're telling me now is they recently taped one of their events, and there really was no rhetoric. So, what are your thoughts? Yeah.
I think it has more to do with some of the extreme individuals that are part of the Tea Party. Okay. I think the reason why the Tea Party was actually introduced and why it was created have real merit.
Okay.
I just think that a lot of times you have, whether it's Democrat, Republican, Tea Party, or whatever else, you have extremists that take a hold of it and decide to get their name out there.
Well, would you agree as an African American? Would you agree with Esther that you have some concerns? Like
there's some concerns with the leadership, not the simple principles of the Tea Party.
Tea Party leadership, are they racist?
I don't know anything about
I don't know anything
about which Tea Party people are racist? How would I know one if I see one, Esther, so I can stay away from him?
I was going to say, and you better be. I have to be careful.
Yeah. I mean, where are these racists in the Tea Party?
I never said that they're racist in the Tea Party. Okay. What I'm saying is that there's extremists that are in all parties, and that's where the issues come from. Okay. It's not the principles of the Tea Party. It's some of the extremists that are in the Tea Party.
All right, so if the base of this show, though, is, in fact, are there concerns that... let me ask you this question. Is the NAACP right when they say that there's racist overtones?
I would say, in some situations, yes.
Okay.
Can you tell us where these are? I mean, it's easy enough to say anything. I can say, your tie don't look good, Tony. Well, that's my opinion. Maybe your tie's great.
And it's true that, things can be taken many different ways. Okay. What I'm saying is the fact that some of the leadership has made statements, like case in point, the one gentleman that was in Texas that had racial slurs on his sign, and he was a leader of one of the sects of the Tea Party. It's issues like that, not the principles of the Tea Party itself. They have some genuine concerns. It has to do with some of the leaders in the party.
All right, Jake, you've been too quiet.
The fellow that he's referring to is pretty much what I view as the Republican installed leadership of the Tea Party Express, and I think that on a local level, there is no one leader, which tends to be a problem. But on the local level, again, I don't speak for the Tea Party. I'm not a Tea Party candidate.
Yeah, and I should say real quick, I know you want to jump in, Ron, but I do want to say...
nobody's elected in the Tea Party.
That's a very good point. It's a very free, fluid movement.
They don't have a party.
And I do want to say this, by the way, as we're going to break. We did invite them on. They declined. They did not. They felt that this was an issue. They didn't want to be out in this particular show. So I just want to let you know we invited them, and that's that. All right, this is going to be a good show. We're going to talk about Tea Party, NAACP. Is there some racism out there? Business Matters. Be right back.
Voice your thoughts on this week's topic or guest. Have a story or tip we should know about? Contact the show now. This is the place. WFMZ.com/bizblog. That's BIZBLOG.
We are back. Business Matters. You saw a note for the blog. And again, thank you. We like hearing from you, and we do hear from you. We appreciate that. Jake, are people oversensitive? I know recently you got yourself into a little bit of controversy relative to Poker Face, the band you were going to have at an event that had anti-Semitic overtones. Is that right? You decided not to have the band. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And the whole thing is, and I think as a conversational, we should also look at is, my philosophy is everybody.
I mean, do you feel like you were forced into that, or do you think that was a good? Are you glad you made that decision?
I think it was a good decision.
Right.
I wasn't wasn't aware of all the things that.
When you heard those things, was that the case? I mean,
yes, I was very offended by a lot of the remarks, and the whole thing is that if in America, what I believe is that we should just have a society of individuals. Like when you start hyphenating things, whether it's African American or Jewish American or whatever, I think you're really getting away from the fact that the smallest minority on the planet is really the individual.
Dwayne, do you think that this president, Esther, do you think that this president is critiqued more strongly because he's African American?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think so?
Absolutely.
I would say yes, but it would also make sense for that simple reason. I mean, we're in a historical time when we have the first African American president.
Why would he be critiqued more?
I would see that as happening. The problem is that, like the whole issues with Ms. Sherrod is that you have to go to an extremes trying to say, okay, I'm this way, and then turns out that it was.
So for our viewers, Sherrod again was the woman that was the farming
Department of Agriculture.
Yes, the Department of Agriculture, and the initial statement was that she was not so kind to a white farmer, and when they really push came to shove, you listen to the whole thing, she in fact was just the opposite.
Sure, and everyone had a lot of people,
but the administration
right and left had to backpedal.
But the administration did in fact send the edict down to fire her. I mean, are you saying?
It certainly did.
All right.
And the NACP jumped the gun as well.
All right. Did they also say the same?
They jumped the gun.
Okay.
Because nobody listened to the entire speech.
Okay.
They excerpt a portion that the guy's name that was on the blog that generated the whole thing.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah. Okay.
Michelle,
but anyway, he generated this thing, and everybody jumped the gun because everybody wants to be right.
All right.
Tony, you know what's sad here? I just listened to both these folks say that Obama's not treated fairly, the president.
I didn't say, no, be careful.
You said they're tougher.
Be careful.
I didn't say that.
Well, can I finish? And the facts are, Tony, that the media coddles him. The media baby him.
don't.
So the media is kind to him.
It depends on what media.
Because they have to
It
be.
depends on what media.
But frankly, the man's been a disaster as president.
Okay.
They should
It
be
depends on what
coddling him.
media.
Please.
We already know
He's done
that
more for the
you
country
have
already.
Doing more for the country.
You have
He's
Fox and you have everybody else.
Because he's taking care of people. He's
taking care of people till we go broke and then we're owned by China.
That's
Oh,
what
please.
you've
This
switched your
president's a
affiliation.
disaster.
I have switched my affiliation.
Okay.
And I think it's been
You were
good.
always a
Tony.
Republican.
I was a Democrat first coming through.
Oh, and now you're an R.
Then I was a Republican.
Okay.
And now I'm back to
Oh,
Democrat.
you're back to Democrat. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Pardon?
Republicans who felt she was a planted, the Democrats sent her over to see what we were doing.
There's
Soon as she
nobody.
figured out she was back.
Nobody plants me anywhere, Ron Hengel. You ought to
That
know
is why we put you at either ends.
I figured that.
I did not want to. We didn't want any fights.
You didn't want me to swing over. I think I can still reach him.
But I just want to make sure. I'm glad I raised that question.
It gives
It was
me
obvious to you. So you watch TV, you think, boy, they're picking on this president. He gets more aggravation.
They don't pick on him. I wouldn't use the
But
word
you can't
pick.
say that.
Well, because his wife went and spent $80,000 a day to take a little vacation in Spain. Come on, Esther. Why didn't she go to Disneyland?
Why didn't you pick another subject?
I think we're missing the subject.
Okay.
I think what was actually being said
The
is the fact that
sensitivity to
when it comes to
go ahead.
Obama and his presidency,
Yes.
there is more scrutiny because of the fact he's African American.
That's
I'm not necessarily saying that
Say it,
in
but
any
I think
case
you are
that
saying- because
I think what
it's
you are
right.
saying is that Fox, for instance, is tougher on him.
Fox is right.
True, but
on everybody.
Yeah.
when it comes to the Republicans and Democrats, no matter who's in the office, Fox is going to be to the right, and ABC and the rest of the networks are going to be to the left. That's just how they report news.
Do you believe Obama will be reelected a second term?
Even before Obama was
Here's a
elected.
valid question. It's not like just quick. It is my show, but he does have a good question. Go ahead, Ron. Ask that question.
Based on the job he's done, do you believe Barack Obama will be a two-term president? Thank you.
I'll tell you right now, I'm
Yeah.
very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yes,
I do.
You know he won't be.
See, I'm actually agreeing with Ron, and he's still arguing with me.
Wait, Esther.
I'm actually agreeing with Ron, and he's still arguing with me. I'm extremely disappointed on the way things have been run since Obama's been in. We've spent way too much money. I think a lot of things, the government's getting much bigger than it should be. I think those principles are there. That's why I'm saying that as far as the Tea Party is concerned, as in principle, I think there's merit to that.
Okay.
Again, it goes to the people that are in leadership that cause those
Don't
issues.
throw those daggers over at him. You're not telling the
It
truth.
doesn't matter because he and I apparently have different views.
Okay.
Well, I think
it doesn't matter.
He's
It
just
doesn't
saying-
matter. I understand.
You're saying that he's been terrific. Is that what you're saying?
I say he has.
Okay.
And I say it goes almost back to the Depression time.
Go ahead.
That when, we've got to recognize that the country's in a bad bad situation, jobs lost.
Okay.
You know, and
so you're saying he inherited a terrible situation. You're saying
he's making the best of a bad situation.
He inherited a bad situation.
No, he's making a bad situation worse. Look at the statistics.
Well, it's your opinion.
All right.
No, it's the facts.
Where are they?
Where are they?
But I think that. But that's my particular concern with the Tea Partiers, that they have taken their feelings from both parties.
Okay.
And hit the street.
Okay.
You know, it's what NAACP does if we see a problem.
Okay.
We go to the street to make people more conscious of it.
All right.
And I see that as why they were out there to begin with.
Uh-huh.
Well,
but then when it got ugly with the sign carryings and the images of Obama, you know, for instance, as one of on their placards, then it gets to a racist.
Okay, so that's when you guys start getting concerned.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The anti-Constitution, he's making government bigger, he's putting us in debt. The Tea Party wants less government and adhere to the Constitution. And frankly, that's a pretty darn good idea. Obama is not adhering to the Constitution, and he's driving us further in debt. That's why they put up a placard.
I don't want to speak for them, but I think in fairness, maybe the reason they didn't come on is where they said, look, we don't even want to go there. It's not on our agenda.
They know Esther would speak with a forked tongue, and they wouldn't get a fair shake.
I think a lot of members of the Tea Party are in the middle of trying to more or less reinvent themselves, so they get back to the actual issues in the Tea Party. I'm not a member of them, but I am saying that I read a lot.
Okay.
Can you relate?
And my point being is the fact that there's certain disappointments that people are really feeling, and I can understand why they would join this organization.
Well, you must admit, Esther, and I'm going to pay him a cut. Dwayne's a bright guy, and he has an objective viewpoint. I don't know if yours is.
Tony.
She's not objective. You're not objective. Ron just said it.
And also closed ears this morning to you, Mr. Engel. Because I think it's a position of where we come from in life.
I think we got to let Jake speak. Go ahead, Jake.
I was just going to say, you know, some of the things that they've put out about President Obama are, you know, fairly rather offensive, but they were doing the exact same things when President Bush was in power as well. And I think we should have been more critical of the folks that are in power, especially when it becomes very apparent that the economy is crashing.
Yeah, there's a question: is have we lost respect for the office with all the media attention that's out there?
Absolutely.
Respect for government, period. Absolutely.
We lost respect for the office first.
Okay. And government.
I'm one of the few people that love in government anymore. You know that.
It's all over the place. Hey, that's a great. We'll go to commercial on that comment. Stay with us. Business Matters. Be right back.